Today I'm going to be doing a review on the H8R Revolver. We got this sent by our sponsor, Fox Airsoft. Thanks guys, appreciate that. Let's see what we got. The H8R Revolver, probably one of my favorite pistols. So that's how you do it. Each one of these holds 10 rounds. There's a little switch right here that you can adjust to release it. And then lock it back into place. There's a little safety right here, so you can't pull the trigger. It's got a rail system on top and bottom. The trigger has a little pull. It's pretty lightweight considering the size. And this cool part right here, this is where the CO2 goes. And it has a little Allen key right here for the bottom so you can tighten it up, which is pretty nifty. Jump right into it. Let's get this thing rocking and rolling. Alright, we are live. Get this filled up. I'm going to chrono with .12s and then .20s. Actually fits in pretty easily. You might be able to just scrunch it down on something like a flat surface and load them up faster that way. Let's go chrono with .20s. You gotta, on these, you gotta make sure that you get them the right way. There's little bullet markings you can use as a reference. Alright, so, without further ado, first shot. .337. Alright, one thing I can see, it's pretty consistent in the 300s. Now for range, almost all the way to the end of the fence. But you can adjust that. It has a fixed pop-up. Alright. I mean, all in all, I think this gun's really nice if you're, you know, for CQB or any type of close quarters. It's not really intended for long range. Pistol's usually one of those things where you just have to pull out last minute if you need it. Oh yeah, that was a lot faster. Now if you have a jug like this, I mean, I loaded that within a second, so that was a lot faster. Alright, I'm sure .12s are going to go crazy because they're lighter. Let's chrono this. Anything about .20, 25s would be best to run through something like this. Only say that because it's a fixed hop up already, so you know, you got to worry about that. But I mean, really, I mean, all in all, this is actually a really good gun. And then, like I said, you got this little safety feature right here, so I can't pull the trigger. And if you want the hammer back, you know, the pull is actually really light, like kind of like a real firearm. When I mean, you really don't take too many pounds. I'd say a couple pounds of pressure, just get that trigger going. You purchase one of these, you get 4 discs with it, including the one that is in the gun. So total of 5. Each disc holds 10 rounds, so that's a total of 50 rounds, more than enough. Like I said, reload's really easy. It's a lightweight gun. I mean, it's a little bulky. I mean, it's a big gun, you know, for a sidearm. If you're looking for, I mean, consistency-wise, it does look like pretty consistent, especially with the FPS. It's definitely was in the 330 range. On the box, it says it's 325, but it was like 331, 335. So that's good. I mean, especially if you're in tight quarters. I mean, you could squeeze off 10 shots on this thing, no problem. I mean, it shoots pretty fast and pretty easily. All in all, I would suggest this to any type of airsofter, or anybody that's just starting out, or anybody, or a veteran airsofter that's looking for a nice little sidearm. But the only problem I see with this one is size. I mean, it's thin. It's a thin profile, but it's just really long and kind of a little bulky. But all in all, I think this would be a really good starter one. And you know, you could always put a tack light or a little EOTech on there to kind of make it look a little cooler. I'm sure there's little upgrades. You could probably get a converter to make this HPA, I'm sure, or green gas. That would make things a little bit easier, especially being in the field. I mean, the CO2, I mean, it's pretty easy to change them out. I mean, it has a little resistance, but who wants to take the end and have to undo that? That seems a little inconvenient, but it is nifty. I like that. That's thinking outside the box, and that's really cool. All in all, for, you know, you pay $69, I think it is, maybe less, online. I'm sure you can find them cheaper than that, but for the price, I definitely think this would be a good gun. I mean, the BBs were shooting for at least 50 yards, not 50 yards, but 50 feet, relatively straight, you know, given with the fixed top-up. That's why I would suggest anything higher than a .20 or 25. I don't know if anything bigger than that, like a 28 or 30, would be any beneficial, but I think it would definitely help a little bit, especially if you're planning on using this on close range. At least your shots would be on target, and you won't have to worry about any of them flying around. But I like to say thanks again to Fox Airsoft for giving me this opportunity to review this gun. And like I said, all in all, I think this is a good gun. Out of a 10 star, I think this would probably, I'd give it about a 7.5. I think all in all, this weapon system is a good one for all types of airsofters. I mean, I'm actually considering on getting myself one. This is a really nice gun, and I'm really impressed with how the fixed hop-up is actually doesn't cause any issues. Like I said, the only thing you can do about that is heavier BBs, but you do lose a little range on it. but I mean, small sacrifice for a nice straight shot. It looked about 25 yards. Every shot consistently was pretty straight, on target. About right when it reached about 50, or not 50, but 45 yards, that's when it started to veer off target. So I mean, they were relatively close, especially the 20s. The 20s, I got a couple hits off that, you know, from a pretty great distance. But all in all, I think the accuracy on this thing's pretty decent. And I mean, we were outside in the wind and all that stuff too, so that plays an effect. If you're an indoor field, I mean, I think this would be good for a CQB match or a CQB field. Outdoors might be good as a sidearm. But all in all, like I said earlier, I give this a 7 out of 10 because I do like a lot of the functions that it has, and I think that for the price, you just can't beat it. I mean, it's a cheap gun, but it's really reliable. I think it's a great starter piece. Given there are some things that I personally don't like about it, but there are a lot of cool features on here that a lot of people that do like Magnum type sidearms would definitely enjoy, I believe. I mean, changing out the discs are pretty easy. You just, like I said, you take that switch and you just put it in and put it out. I mean, it has a little resistance, but you got to make sure you're putting it the right way, because there's the little bullet markings, and when you put it in, they got to be facing up. So I mean, if you put it in backwards, it's just not going to fit right. So you want to make sure that you do that if you do end up getting one of these. But all in all, like I said, I think it's a great starter gun. I mean, for the price, you can't beat that. It's pretty much made out of polymer. It's relatively all polymer except for the inside, the CO2 chamber. That's the only, look like that's where all the metal parts were. So that's where most of the weight's going to be. I mean, the front end of this gun doesn't really feel all that heavy. It's merely back heavy, so that's good too, because when you're getting lined up on your target, you don't want it to be front heavy, because then you're drooped down. So I think that would be a good thing. But yeah, I think all in all, this would be a really good weapon system for pretty much any type of airsofter that's looking for a revolver type